Hey guys, it's Joe from GadgetryTech.com, and today we're going to talk about the Pangea Audio Vulcan rack. The one I have here is the 5-shelf variant in black. It's $219.95. You can get it in carbon fiber. If you opt for the 4-shelf version, it's $149.95, and that one's available in either the same black or rosewood or espresso, which is kind of like a nice brown color. So the goal of this, the reason why I wanted to cover something like this is because I plan on going through a lot of different audio components. We're expanding a lot with coverage on audio products, and I wanted something that was durable, looked good, was very easy to work with and flexible, you know, as far as running wires in the back, and provides adequate ventilation. This thing is only $219 for a high-end audio rack. I mean, just to give you some examples, even though the MDF is vinyl wrapped, it's scratch resistant, it's actually better than some of the finished woods out there because because of this vinyl is so tough, if you're moving a component back and forth, I would actually prefer this over just a stained wood because those are a lot more delicate. The post that they use, so this is a steel post construction that basically twists in. There's a threaded steel bolt that connects each post and it clamps down. They have these little rubber isolation pads, or washers if you will, where the top post goes on the finished surface, and that's going to give you less transference of vibration from shelf to shelf. The posts themselves are powder coated to be resonant resistant and scratch resistant. So again, very durable. There's not really any ring at all whatsoever. So because it uses a steel frame construction and it's the 5/8 thick MDF, it's very strong and sturdy. I have this one on wheels. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what's really nice about this is it's 24 inches wide, it's 18 inches deep. The gap in between the posts is 19.4 inches, so there's a lot of flexibility there. In between each shelf, you have 7 1/4 inch of height, and on the bottom one, it's 8 3/4 inch. So if you have a huge, amplifier, power supply, whatever, you want the heavier, bigger stuff down at the bottom anyway. So what's cool about this is it's versatile. You can reconfigure it. They sell a turntable. A vinyl storage rack system, which you get 13-inch tall posts. You can always reassemble the bottom and put that in to put all your vinyls down there. So there's flexibility, which I like. And again, that attention to detail as far as the durability and all that. It's really hard to find a high quality audio rack that looks good and is in this price range. That's kind of where Pangea Audio was shooting for as far as the sweet spot goes. So with that being said, we're going to load it up with different components. We can show you what it looks like. But the build quality is excellent. Now, I mentioned the wheels. The wheel kit or caster kit is not an expensive upgrade. If you do not get the wheels, you have adjustable spikes. Now, the spikes will give you about a 1/4 inch of adjustment on each one. So they're very sharp, by the way. They're excellent for carpet. They are not intended for hard floors. It will scratch them very easily. They do give you these little metal discs that are, like 1/2 inch wide. The spikes would rest on. So you use the spikes to level it so it has a really nice evenly distributed weight, and those little discs will keep you from scratching the floor. So you always have that. Now, as far as the strength goes, each shelf holds 75 pounds or supports up to 75 pounds, and the total weight support of this rack is 350 pounds, which is absolutely phenomenal for an open frame rack and at this price. So again, great build quality. It came together really well. I didn't have any problems. Just make sure you pay attention to the directions. I thought originally the rubber washers went on both sides of the post, but they give you enough to do it on the top side for each one. I found that that's still enough to, isolate the, the vibration transference in between each one anyway, so that wasn't a big deal. But you do get the beveled edges, which is nice. It's rolled. I like that the whole front curves out. Kind of gives it a more sleek look instead of just a standard, square rack. So yeah, anyway, with that being said, let's put some equipment on it. I'll show you how it kind of scales up, if you will, once you have stuff in there, and then we'll give you some final thoughts at the end. Okay, so while those components are getting staged, I just wanted to point out a few extra accessories you can get to customize your Vulcan rack even further. I mentioned the rack height being 7 1/4 inch and then 8 3/4 of an inch on the lower shelf. If that's not enough, they sell longer posts online. You can get the 10-inch posts, which look exactly like the ones in our review, and those are $34.95. You can get the 10-inch post with X-brace, which gives you a little bit more rigidity and strength on the outside edge of the shelves. That one is $39.95. In addition to that, you can also get a Vulcan amp stand. So if you wanted something completely separate, that one's $79.95. That basically complements whatever kit that you have. if you want even more height, in addition to the 10-inch post, they have an add-on LP storage kit. Now the storage kit is 13 inches high. That one goes for $99.95. So even though it's meant for vinyls, if you just want the height, that is the largest one you can get. And that's not just posts, it comes with a whole extra shelf, so you can add height to your entire kit. So if you know you wanted a 5 shelf, but you wanted the 13 inch on the bottom, just get the 4 shelf model and then buy the $100 LP storage kit to give you the height that you want. Another thing that's kind of cool, depending on how much free height you have, if you get the longer posts and you want to give yourself more flexibility, they have a Vulcan drawer. So it literally mounts to the underside of the shelf, and they have a 2-inch variant that's $79.95, and they have one that's 5 inches deep for $99.95. So again, in addition to the casters that I did, you can do additional shelves, you can do the LP storage kit, drawers, etc. And then they even sell add-on shelves separately. So if you just want an additional shelf, that one's $79.95. So there's a lot you can change. I like that because the modularity is a good selling point. It would be cool, if they have this modular kit like what we have, but giving you the flexibility of customizing it completely is really what sets the Vulcan rack apart, because it's built extremely well, but then you get to customize it and it's still affordable. So a lot of really expensive customizable furniture doesn't really give you the best bang for your buck. You're putting so much into the furniture, you're losing money for the components. So with this, you don't have to sacrifice that. You still get high quality, but you save enough money to put it towards other things that will give you an even better listening experience. So all these accessories really sets it apart and makes the Vulcan rack special. With that being said, the components are back on, so let's transition back over to that and show you how it looks with everything staged. Okay, so even though these components are connected, I wanted to stage a few just to give you some perspective on what that height clearance actually gives you. So 7 1/4 inch of height is between each shelf up top, and again 8 3/4 down bottom. So on top I have a Music Hall MMF 3.3 turntable. That's going to be fed into the Vincent Audio PHO-500 phono preamp. I like this one because it gives me the USB output to connect to my computer. We're going to do a full review on this soon, but it's an awesome preamp. Then once we get that signal out, we're going to do an analog connection to the Vincent Audio SV500 integrated amp, and again, that's what I'm going to be using for a lot of my audio demos. I have several older receivers. This is my tallest one. It's an older Harman Kardon AVR 230. Not the most powerful amp out there. I think it's only 55 watts, but it's big. So even with a taller receiver, the 7 1/4 inch of height, you have about a 1/2 inch of clearance above it. If you really have a big receiver, you still have plenty of space on bottom and it would work down there. Just keep that in mind if in case you have a large receiver and a large power supply or multiple power amps. Make sure your clearance is there. However, for my build, this is excellent. It gives me exactly what I'm looking for. And the big kicker with this, the reason why I wanted the Vulcan rack is because of the caster kit. It's only $30 for the wheels, and I change stuff out a lot. So it's one thing to be able to reach behind real easily and unplug wires, but being able to turn all of this stuff, and this has got some weight to it. I mean, these components are not light. Look how easy that was. I can flip it around. I have easy access to all my stuff. I can run my cables, and then when I'm done, flip it back around. It may not be as ideal as the spikes going into carpet as far as getting a really solid low vibration mount on the ground, if you will, or placement on the carpet. However, if you have a hard surface and you're moving components around, the wheel kit is, to me, vital. $30 is not bad to get that extra flexibility and ease of switching things out. So anyway, guys, I hope you found this review helpful. There's not a lot to cover so much as far as like features go. It's really just knowing about the dimensions, knowing about the construction, which again, there's a bolt that goes through the top here and it screws in, it's steel. Then you have a dual threaded bolt that basically connects like this. You twist it together down, you keep going, and then it clamps it all into place. There's no tools needed. The only tool that I needed for the caster kit was included. You just twist it on and torque it down and you're good to go. But I had no defects with the finish. Like I said, prefer a very durable vinyl wrap over paint or natural wood for stuff like this, because you move things in and out a lot. And even though real wood might look better, it'll only look better if there's no scratches or gouges in it. So I think this is going to hold up much better over time. I hope you found this review helpful. Again, this is all leading into a lot of audio reviews, so thank you so much for checking out the channel. I hope you are enjoying the content we're doing. Stay tuned as we start covering all of these components now that we have a great home for them. So thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.